home where the big horners roam, where the mole rat and the fire gecko play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and my skin is not glowing all day. Home, home on the wastes, where the mole rat and the fire gecko play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and my skin is not glowing all day. Where the rats ain't too high, the water's not bad, the rat's corpse are playful and mild.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. The Army of Otters here, and today we're going to be checking out the Long 15. Now this video was requested several times by Wesley Gassett. So, Wesley, here you are. We have finally made it to this video. And just a huge shout out to everyone who enjoys this series and has subscribed to this channel. None of this would be possible without any of you, so thank you so much. Now, before I talk about the Long 15, I would like to go ahead and share what our good friend Ulysses has to say about it.
No damage done. Not yet. Maybe in years. Keeps the bear fenced. If Caesar can't drive it back, fire might. Only delays the end for the bull. A new wall for them to scale and cross once they're done with the Mojave and Hoover Dam. Never again do you or any other courier and caravan need walk that route. Let the Mojave breathe without that asphalt scar raking it.
So Long 15 is only accessible if you choose to launch the nuclear weapons towards the New California Republic. If you're doing a good playthrough, or just kind of supportive of the NCR, or just a good person, you can easily miss this location. This location shares a lot of similarities with the Courier's Mile. However, this location is more oriented towards the NCR. And it's also worth noting that this location is much easier than the Courier's Mile. Now, before the events of the Great War, the Long 15 was just a long road between California and Nevada. And after the Great War, it became a very important route for the New California Republic, acting as a trade route between the NCR and New Vegas. But obviously, if you choose a certain course of action within the Lonesome Road DLC, it becomes a barren, lifeless wasteland. To access the Long 15, you must first complete the quest, The Apocalypse, then just head to the Mojave Outpost, and then you can just exit through the gate, as you can see me doing here. Now, once you enter the Long 15, the screen will go very bright, and then you will be awakened to the devastation that you, the player, have caused. It's a very haunting scene, and it's just a very dark and eerie reminder about the devastation of atomic weapons. Behind you, we can find the remnants of an outpost that was probably manned by many NCR soldiers before the Mojave Outpost. And if we come over here, we can find the ruins of some kind of building. We are not able to determine what kind of building it is, but we can assume it had many souls within it. Now, on a more positive note, this building provides us with a really good sniper's nest for clearing out most of the ghoulified NCR troops in this area. Now, something unique with the Long 15 is we can actually find irradiated heavy troopers, and the game kind of implies that these are feral ghouls, which means we have feral ghouls in power armor, which is just a really terrifying thought. After clearing out the ghouls, we came over to this shooting range, where we can find a blast shadow, or a human shadow of death. Now, I talked about this in the last video, but in case you didn't catch that video, a blast shadow is a darkened outline or silhouette left on a surface after a nuclear explosion or extremely powerful blast. Basically what happens, the intense heat and radiation from the explosion vaporizes and bleaches the surface surrounding the objects, or in this case a person, but the area shielded by that person remain less affected, creating this shadow-like imprint. And we can actually see this in real life in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I've actually been to the Hiroshima Peace Museum, and they have preserved some of these shadows to this day, so you can actually see them still. It's a very dark and very eerie reminder of the destruction and powerfulness of nuclear weapons. If you ever get the opportunity to visit Japan, I highly recommend to go visit it. It's very dark, it's very sad, but it gives you a big reflection on human history and humanity in general. Alright, and now on to some lighter topics. As in the Courier's Mile, there is a lot of ammunition here, so make sure you loot everything, as you can get some very rare ammunition in very large quantities, which is always going to be very good. Also, the Long 15 is significantly easier than the Courier's Mile because there are no death claws, and the ghouls here are pretty easy to kill once you're a high level, and assuming you've completed the Lonesome Road DLC, you're a high level. Now we can also find Colonel Royez here, who can be pretty difficult to kill. He took a lot of shots from the anti-material rifle, but you definitely want to make sure to kill him, and you want to make sure to take his Scorched Sierra power armor, which is a unique power armor within Fallout New Vegas. So pretty cool and also very valuable. Near where I killed Colonel Royez, we can find a medical camp with a generous amount of medical supplies. So definitely make sure to hit it up, and you can get some automatic stim packs and some stim packs, along with doctor's bags and other useful chems. Now, I also wanted to point out that the vertibirds over here, this one has no noticeable markings on it. It just looks like a plain vertibird, which is interesting because we know there are NCR vertibirds. During the President Kimball assassination mission, we actually see the NCR vertibirds. Now, there's also some loot crates back here, kind of tucked in the corner of this valley, where the Overturned Truck is, so make sure to come back here and grab some of the loot. Now, there is a bunker, or barracks over here, barracks, but we cannot go inside, unfortunately, because it is blocked off. Also, there are plenty of weapon crates, so make sure to check them out. They kind of have random loot in them, so make sure to see what they have for you. Over here, we have a crashed Enclave Vertibird, which is very interesting about why it would be here. Now, it might just be an oversight from developers, but I suspect maybe the NCR just captured it and repurposed it and never changed the emblems on it because it might be a waste of resources, but I don't know. And then over here we have an overturned truck with all kinds of supplies and dead NCR troopers, specifically dead NCR rangers, around it. So as we can see here, just pure destruction from the nuclear explosion that happened not too long ago because of the actions of your character, the Courier. Now, of course, if you choose to not attack the NCR, none of this will be here. And over here in this back corner, we can find a ton of ammunition and some other weapon crates that potentially have weapon mods and other good weapons in them, so make sure to check it out. Also scattered around here, we can find ash piles, which are just pretty much vaporized people that we can find their remains. Obviously, there's nothing left because right over the side of this road here, we can see the crater from the nuclear explosion. If you attempt to go down here, you will be killed instantly. Your character just dies and the screen goes black. Now, this being the Unexplored Mojave, I wanted to see what was past this kill barrier. And actually on the edge of this crater, we can find a bunch of children's toys, including a toy car, a letter block, and a dinosaur, and a teddy bear. I wanted to try and reach it. However, it is protected by the kill barrier, so you would have to kind of finagle your way over there. And using the reload dash glitch, I was able to launch myself over to this building. And then, of course, once I was in this building, I saved. And this building is technically above the kill barrier, so you don't have to worry about dying once you're in here. However, trying to jump down towards the toys led to me being killed. So we would have to find another way to get the toys. So what I did was I hugged this wall over here, and I fell down on this ledge underneath the collapsed road. And then when I crouched, I was able to reach the toys, and I could pick them up. Now, this car is actually called Cuddle's Toy Car, which is somewhat interesting because this toy car is normally found at Black Mountain. Inside of Raoul's prison, there is Cuddle's Toy Car, and it only becomes Cuddle's Toy Car, though, once you read the terminal. I made a video about that in the past, and then we have a wooden block that just says take, but we cannot actually pick it up. And then here you can see me adding the toy car to my personal belongings, and I have 2 Cuddle's Toy Cars. Once again, using the reload dash glitch, I was able to launch myself past the kill barrier and into the crater. But since I had a lot of height, I saved right before I hit the ground. And the reason for this is once you reload the save, your falling animation is reset so you don't take the fall damage that you were the first time, and you can survive the fall. And down here we can see the actual crater of the Long 15, which is pretty interesting. However, once you're down here, you're pretty much stuck. I couldn't finagle my way out of here at all, so there's not really much you can do down here besides kind of look around. Now, this crater was probably the site of ground zero for this atomic bomb, which is why the radiation is so high. So if you visit this area, of course, you're going to need a lot of Radaway and a lot of Rad-X. That way you don't die from radiation poisoning. Alright guys, and there you have it, the Long 15. This video was long awaited by Wesley, and I'm sure by many others. This is a very haunting place that serves as a reminder for the courier's terrible actions. Of course, the Long 15 is only accessible if you initiate the apocalypse and use the nuclear weapons to target the NCR. Of course, I'm sure many players choose for the nuclear weapons to not target the NCR, which is the morally best choice. Overall, this location has some really good ammunition and medical supplies that are definitely worth looting. It is not nearly as difficult as the Courier's Mile, so it is a good place to check out and to stock up on supplies. That being said, though, there is not a whole lot of interest here as far as unique or amazing items, and I do think the Courier's Mile is a lot better because it's more challenging and I think it's more aesthetically interesting. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any recommendations for the next location, please post them in the comment section below. And as always, until next time.